Hello. I forgot to take my meds, so I'm gonna sound a little weird talking for the next little bit because they're under my tongue. You're supposed to let them into the bloodstream through your saliva. Yeah. But, as the title suggests, I was reached out by the game we're gonna play today by a dev. It's just a playtest demo, so I think it's shorter than your average demo. Okay, I think I can swallow. Ah, there we go. Ah. And what's essentially going to happen for tonight's stream is I'm going to play the demo. We're going to see how long it is for one. It's a public playtest, so if you see this game and go, I want to try this out, you can try out the playtest. Do make sure you leave any feedback you have for the devs, because, I mean, they were cool enough to reach out to a very small streamer like myself to try out their game, where they said, hey, we saw that you streamed XCOM 2 and Enter the Breach. We think you would like this game. I mean, I could do Insanity mode of Resident Evil 9 or Requiem. I am on the last 4 in-game achievements for that game. So I could do that also, but I think I'll probably talk about the theory I talked about in Discord a little bit, that Resident Evil is a lore-based horror game and Silent Hill is a themes-based horror game. I'll probably talk about that before anything, like clip that part out specifically, because I think it could be its own video. But you know what? That's fair. PCs are kind of notorious for being assholes. But beforehand... Oh, I should... that tab. I really like this song. I want to get the link to where it's at, just so I can get it later. Because we have to mute things, because we are starting the game. Which is called Attack of the Astrals. As you can see, this is kind of what you get. Oh my god, RAM self-imploding right now is the worst, because RAM is so goddamn expensive. So, as always, I check options first, just to see what we've got. Scale mode, okay, Pixel Perfect adds black bars on some screens. Pixel Stretch fills the screen. Okay, yeah, we're going Pixel Perfect. Can I do borderless? Nope. Why did it put it in that window all of a sudden? Okay. Okay, we're not gonna... Don't fuck with the full screen mode yet. It's... For some reason, it switches monitors. Weird little thing. The upper left tile instead of the lower left. Give prompts at the start and end of battles. Recording mode. Add artificial delays to combat. Hides battle metrics. What? No, we're not going to do that. I'm sure that's interesting, but... Just checking something now that I'm kind of where... Yeah, this game, Oh yeah, the specs are very simple. Like, odds are, if you have a modern day potato PC, I think you can run this game. That's another thing. It does. All of the specs are a little confusing, though. I mean, that is Airport's usual go-to. She rarely uses her laptop, it's my understanding. It's usually her phone. Okay, this... Oh, God, this... Okay, let them... Okay, that's really fast. Okay, the text is fast. It is not a select option. I do wish it was a push to continue option. Every battle is an ambush. Astrals drop from the sky and attack at the start of battle. Single target astrals like this goblin target the nearest champion. After astrals act each turn, they are joined by immobile minion. These passively benefit the enemy team or act as hazard. Command your team. Your champions must slay all astrals to win. Hover units to view their abilities. Select a champion to move them. Units have health and die when reaches 0. I still haven't picked up Space Marine 2, so one day I'll pick it up. But see, units have health, champions are revived at the end, healed at the end of battle. Okay. Deal 2 damage. +2 to the closest target of each direction. Distribute 6 damage. Ugh. Excuse me. Evenly among targets. Deal X damage. X is the tiles traveled to each target. Champions can move into tiles occupied by others, swapping positions with them. Use movement to shift units where you want them on the map. Gladiator is a rogue. Rogues target traveled tiles after movement. So if I do like this... Oh, but I'm gonna hurt my unit if I do it this way. Tyrant is a knight. Knights target adjacent tiles after moving. Okay, so... Sorcerer is a mage. Mages target distant lines after moving. Okay, I will say it is taking some learning to figure out how this game works. But I can say it works really well. The concept I do like. New spell scroll obtained. Death pulse. Deal 2 damage to everyone. Astrals with reach. Global astrals like this ghost target all champions. Nowhere is safe from their attacks. Each victory rewards a random scroll, which can be used to cast a map-wide spell. These are consumables and offer a variety of effects. Each run, one champion starts with a summon, a powerful alternate skill that can be used once per battle. Each region you liberate rewards a new summon. What? Sorcerer has a summon. With a champion selected, you can switch between their available skills to use. So you cycle skill. Yeah, no problem. I do, since you're the artist, I have to say, I do really like the art. Especially the pixel art, but I'm also very susceptible to pixel art in general. Yeah, let's go. Oh, right, because it's based on how much they travel, so it only did one. Okay, I'm figuring out the game. Figuring out how it works. Okay, let's see. So, if I move like this, and take the two little minions out. If I go like this, then move like this. Oh, I knocked out my unit. Oh, that was... Good job, brain. But the thing is, it doesn't matter if you knock out units as long as one unit survives. Fatigue. Okay, so I guess it does matter if you knock a unit out. Yeah, I feel like it's a game that the further along I get will determine more how I feel about it, but the early stages, I'm just like, I kind of get it. Revival isn't free. Champions that die in the previous battle start with fatigue, which reduces their move range. Okay. That is a reasonable thing to have happen. The champion has Confused, which deals damage based on skill target count. The only thing I can really do that's going to hurt is if I move up here. Oh, so it moves where they were, which means that they would attack differently. Okay, I'm kind of... 1 damage, deal 4 damage to the highest health Astral. 2 damage to everything. Let's do that, because it can get rid of all the minions. Then if I move here, because they were going to go down anyway. And I can do this. Followed by that. Oh, they're gonna go down, actually. That's fine. If I die on, like, my first real attempt at the game, that's fine. That's kind of to be expected, for being honest. Oh, my phone's going off. Oh, my alarm to remind me to take my meds, which I took at the beginning of stream. Protect all... Oh, Aegis is really good. Protect all champions. Oh, hello, horse. Yeah, which, I mean, I play enough roguelikes that I'm used to the first few runs being like, I kind of get it. Okay. Equip a skill to summon. Push targets away and deal 1 damage. Another skill can be used this turn. Push targets away and deal 1 damage. Oh, it's the same skill, brain. I think this one would make the most sense on this mage. Oh, that's not the info I thought it would show. So... action deal 1 damage, plus 5 damage to the highest health targets. Targets away, because this is the only one that's a ranged fighter. Because the other two are based on close combat. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Okay, let's see. So you have... okay, I see. Liberate the region for a new summon. So its minions will... oh, so if I click, each one has different things. Okay. Learn a skill that can execute targets. Learn a protect skill that cannot harm allies. Let's see. Astrals have +1 health. Its minions will appear in all future battles. Oh, got it. Got it. So it's a sense of you're going to go to multiple areas, but enemies from all areas will pile up. So if one area has enemies you don't like to fight, for example, or if they would be bad for your character's run, you would ignore them as much as possible. So it's a matter of fire or earth. I think protect skills will help us the most. So we're gonna go here. Yep, they have fatigue. Oh, we're starting off with getting hurt. Yeah, that's the play, because this thing has a shield. I mean... oh, yeah, I've gotta do better, though, if I don't want to constantly have fatigue on my units. Okay. Move like that, move like this. And you don't have to worry about the minions more than they kind of make things difficult to have more enemies against you. Because if you kill the main guy, it defeats them all. Got it. And we're going to probably have to use some of these scrolls if we don't want them to go to waste. Oh, hello. Or if we don't want to, so that we can get... Let's see. Let's do this, so we can use it. Let's get this one. This will break the shields. Yeah, let's move like that. Move here. Then... I didn't think this one all the way through, I can tell. This one still allows me to use another skill, though. And I did have the protect going, so now... do that, takes out those two, and that just leaves the one big one left. Let's move like that. And yeah. Use spell scroll. Execute all minions adjacent to a champion. Okay. Sounds a little more specific, but still useful. This game has a really good gameplay loop, is something I will add for sure. If I go like this, can I increase the movement? No. Okay. It does limit how much you can move with them, which makes sense. They get broken very fast if you didn't. Okay. You are unfortunately, I should have dealt with your movement first. Well. I can at least do this, though. Do this, I can take out all but one of my targets I'm hitting. If I move here, we take out a minion and hurt them. We move here, we do damage like that. Yeah. I should have planned that round better. So I gotta remember the way you use your champion should be in a better order than what you just initially think. Okay, this is definitely a great starting play. But also if I did this, I could take out a minion. Then we go like that. Hmm. I did the poor planning again. If I do this, I take out the big one, so that leaves only a minion and them. Champion does go down. But this unit only has 5 health. Knocked it down to 3 by doing that. Move like this, take it out. New spell scroll obtained. Increase all champions' move range by 1 this turn. Ooh. That's really good, considering we have a character who's based on how much they move. Let's see. Protect targeted champion. Another skill can be used this turn. Let's put it on the gladiator, I think. Oh, so this is where we started. This is the second area we went to. Got it. Yep, fatigue, because they died last battle. Okay. Yeah, let's do a push. This will do the most damage of my options because of starting out with, they're the only target I'm hitting. They get +5. I think you can only use that move once per battle. Ooh. No, if I move like this, I can hit both. 4, 4, 1. No, not yet. Do this, you take out the 1 and a minion, which is helpful. Then I move like this, the most damage I'm gonna get. Ooh. Damn. Ooh. Admittedly, this looks like it might be a game run, or a run death. Okay, take out minions since you can't really hit better. Looks like if I do this, I'm not gonna get hurt. Nope, I was wrong. Yeah, I think this is the end of this run. Oh, yep, we're down. Okay. Our goal is to have a successful run today. Oh, you unlock stuff after your first run? Okay, let's go. Single survivor win. Bastion unlocked. Killed a certain amount of minions and got the Butcher unlocked. Ranger unlocked for Astral kills. Okay. And there's a... Let's see, we have some unplayables in the playtest, which, again, makes sense. Okay. Airport. I am not a fan of the constant skill issue thing when I'm doing pretty solid in a game that you currently have not played. X is the distance from each target. Oh, so the further away, the more damage this one does. Sir. Alternate between dealing 1 and 5 damage. Huh. Let's try out the Butcher. Oh. I don't know how I picked up my entire team. Something I will add to my little thing, might be a good idea to have a explanation of that screen with a tutorial tip. Let's see, attack skill, learn a skill to do focus damage. Learn a skill best used against large numbers. That feels like one. Fair, fair. Let's see. Yeah, I was not expecting to unlock all of that stuff in the first place, so playtest is a little meatier than I was anticipating. Which, I mean, is always a good thing. But this one has a skill that I think will help us the most throughout the whole run, so we should get it early on. Let them fall, we will meet them. That is fair. It wasn't even too long ago that we were playing the, oh, my brain just did that fun thing again. I think we played XCOM sooner than 2 years ago. Because we played XCOM quite a bit ago. Or quite a few times. And I mean, to be fair, we will be having XCOM playthrough startup in March after a certain thing is done, but I'm waiting on a commission for that one, so... Oh, so it's based on going through the enemy. Got it. I don't know. Probably just play the game. I feel like it's pretty well known by now that I'm not a hardcore gamer when it comes down to it. I'm not Airport over here modding it to hell and back so that every fight is 100 enemies at least. Maybe, I don't know. I really haven't put much thought into it other than I'm going to play it. I'm not doing Long War of the Chosen. I am doing War of the Chosen, but that's just because I really like that expansion. I think it's really solid. But I'm not doing the Long War mod because I've tried it before and it is just not for me. I don't like super crunchy games, whether that be tabletop role-playing games or video games. Like, even games I adore, like Fallout New Vegas, I will not touch their hardcore mod. I don't care. I play games to have fun. not to prove I'm good at video games. Ow. They really started off by really fucking up the ranger. If I move like this, though, take out the minion. If I move like this, hurting my unit, which I don't want to do. Well, somebody can link me that mod and I'll look into it and see how I feel about it. Some mods are not really well designed. Okay, yep. The way I fucked up on setting up the squad really fucked me over here. So we're gonna have to put a little more thought, not thoughts. We're gonna have to figure out how this menu works better. Like, how do you add them to your party? Or how do I even tell, honestly? Oops, wrong button. Or does it just randomly choose your two allies? Is that what happened? Yeah, definitely stand by the statement of there needs to be a tutorial tip in that area just to make sense of it, because I have no idea how your party works. Prepare yourself, here one comes. Let's see. No, that's a... Do this first. Then do that. This. Yep. I mean, regardless, now that I understand how that works, I now kind of get what's going on. Let's move like this. Wouldn't that just be the custom class from Into the Breach? Like, that's essentially what you're describing. Airport is just... Well, no, wait. If I move... Nope, goddammit. Move like this. They don't get hurt, do damage like that. Because again, to people saying things in chat, keep in mind this is early, or playtest even. It's not even early access, exactly. I mean, that was definitely the play. There wasn't a lot of better options. Because I'm more worried about things that I think would help in this current state. Versus what could be in the final, because finals are always very different. Like, 1.0 releases are very different. I mean, that's just a really good opening move it gave me. Okay, we can look at that after we get through playtest, since we're going to do just chatting after this. Because I have a lot of thoughts related to the Silent Hill versus Resident Evil debate. And this is coming from somebody who isn't a diehard Silent Hill fan. As has been experienced many a times, such as how I kind of just stopped wanting to play Silent Hill 2. Because I just wasn't having fun. Oh, you're right. I should hydrate. Let's see. If I go like this, I can take out a minion and them. Oh, they are the only unit standing. Oh, I did not realize that. Okay. At this point, we have seen everyone in use now because of just how things work. I think I want to spend some more time with the Butcher. I like their concept of 151. Because 151 is very efficient. I will say, both of these being purple made me think they were the same class type. I guess I'm just moving here. Oh, the champion you choose also is the one who starts with the extra spell. Got it. No, it doesn't. Ah, gotcha. Oh wait, no, I should have used the Butcher actually, because they could have done 5 instead of 1. Doesn't matter, we had enough damage anyway, but that would have been the more optimal play. Oh, good, healing spell. Love that. takes away their extra damage, so they're doing less damage to us. Speaking about design, I need to finish the designs for my comic now that I have the comic planned. Thinking about that. Oh, I should have used the spell, actually, to heal so that I didn't have that happen. Wait. We have spells now. Getting rid of minions is the better option. Yeah, I've been meaning for a while to do a webcomic, and I'm like actually trying. I've made it a one-off instead of like a full-ass like ongoing story idea, because that's what always kills the momentum, is like, oh, this is just a lot of work and it's gonna keep going and going. Definitely more in line with the preference of the preference of doing one-offs where like I have a set beginning, a set end, and they're short. Even though I do think the superhero comic idea I want to do at some point would work better as not one-offs, but I probably will still do them as one-offs. Just because also I don't want to have like an ongoing webcomic. No. Oh god. You do have to be careful about how you move your units when you have certain abilities, but I'm not really sure what you could do to make that easier, so it's not really a no, it's just a thing that you have to keep in mind. That was great placement for me. Yep, let's get that stretch. I guess. I mean, it's just a matter of it's stuff like that that tends to destroy my motivation to do things. So if like the motivation is rough, then that's where the problem is. Definitely could have planned that turn better. But we did make up for it. Yep, fatigue. Also, just love the sound effects. I think the sound effects are really solid. The music isn't anything to write home about, but it's also... like, it stands out enough that I will kind of remember parts of it. I definitely like the strings that are in the background of it. Yeah, I guess that's the best strategy there. Oh. Oh. I mean, I just like how it's got, like, bass to it, is, like, what I like about it, is how it kind of is loud about it. Wait. Okay, that... so some of them explode and kill. Hmm. Do that. What spells do I have? Execute all minions next to champions. Do damage to everything would not go well. So if we go like... nope. If we go like this... does the most damage. And the thing I need to remember is that the minions... don't attack, they only give bonuses to the champion, or not the champions, the big guys. Oh. The eye. Set the health of each target to the average health of all targets. Deal 2 damage, restore 1 health per target. Oh, the spells are different for each champion. That makes sense. And, oh, deal 2 damage, restore 2 health, and repeat if any target dies. However, I have noticed that our Bastion keeps going down, so them getting an ability to heal would probably be better for us. Protect skill or movement effect. I'm gonna go with protect spell. Okay, starting off with... oh, the little things underneath them are how much damage they do. Oh. Oh, that wasn't as good of a plan, actually, because they had Protect. Okay, we need to increase movement by 2, actually. Oh, did it only affected 1 unit? Well. I move here... down to 1. I can defeat them this next round. Okay, if we move here. Then move here. Okay, we can't get both of them. I mean, I am expecting any of the things where I'm like, oh, I wish I would have known that sooner. Some of them to just be, they will be known sooner. It's just that the playtest is an early build of the game, because that's what a playtest is. Okay, you're gonna protect, so we do it like this. Yeah, demos, I understand. I haven't done game design. I just watch a lot of things like that talk about game design because I've always found it fascinating. I mean, there is part of me that will probably make a video game one day, but not while I am as busy as I constantly am. Oh. So I do think a lot about game design because of that. Take out minions, since... One, two, three, four. I think I can do this. And then we move the Bastion here, and they will exactly kill it. Oh, fuck, I keep forgetting I have all this stuff. Oh. Another thing, it would be nice if I could choose to just delete spells from my hand if I don't want them. That is a note I will say would help a lot. Like, maybe have it so that new scroll, hey, your inventory's full. Would you like this scroll? Or would you just want to delete it? Or something along those lines. We go like that. Well, let's real quick. Don't have that. 2 damage to everything. It only really help in like one small way, so let's not waste that spell. Oh, excuse me. Oh, yep. Ooh. Okay. Now we're gonna execute all minions because... uh-oh, we're in danger. Yep, that took them out. Ugh. I definitely did better on that first run. Let's... I think having... Oh, why is my phone going off now? My phone keep going off. Just a bunch of ads. Let them fall. We will do them. 'Cause I think this unit I'm best at using in a team, but them probably being the guarantees for the better for me. Do that, do that. So I also really like the evenly doing 6 damage in an area, because it means they can do a lot of damage or they can take out a lot of minions. Okay, well, they gave me the perfect shot there. No. If I do that... Oh, they already moved. There we go. Oh god, why is my... Let's just drink some water, that should help. That's better. Let's see. 9... Okay, you're the one who does confuse, so we need to deal with you. That because I like the placement better. Might be kind of a waste to do that, but I think that's the play that works best. Yeah, that takes out the one. Okay. Yeah, that's the play. They go down, unfortunate. But then we take out that Astral. And then by moving like that, we take out the one. We only have to deal with fatigue on one unit. Okay. Deal 2 damage, 1 damage for each unit shifted. Plus 1 damage. Deal 1 damage, plus 1 for each target. Okay. Deal 1 damage, plus 2 to Astrals for each minion or champion target. So this one... Oh, well... It looks like we know who we'll be raiding later tonight when we stream. I think you are the one who will benefit the most from the spell options. If minions... So Astrals have health, Astrals deal damage. Let's get the... Protect next, I think? Okay. If I go like that... No, if I go like that, I can take out a minion. And I move like that, take out a minion, do a lot of damage to them. Then if I move here, I take out the 1, so we're down to 1 in any minions that spawn. I'm gonna move like this, 'cause... Perfect. Four damage to the highest health Astral. I also really like how the map size has like the same grid, but they'll put obstacles here so that it will be different fights. Oh. Let's see, if I can't move the way I want. Damn. Let's do this. Wait, we have the increased movement. Oh my god, it's not all of my guys. I keep forgetting that. It's kind of randomized. Let's take advantage of some spells on this one. I'm gonna take out a minion, I think. Okay, that's a placement I like. If I do that, that becomes 3. But if I go like that... No, I think this is the right go. Because I can do... If I can target just one specifically, that's for my better option. But I can't target one specific. So... But they are as good as dead this round. Move like this, kills the 1. Move like this, gets rid of protect. Oh shit, I didn't all the way through. There we go. Okay. Let's see. It will be best if I do this. Start off, kills a minion, severely damages one of the Astrals. Do that because they have a lot of health. Do that, takes out that thing. Then if I move like this... Okay, looks like their best strategy is going to just result in a minion death, which is perfectly fine. Then... if I move like this... and that... Okay. Things are not looking great. Move like that. Then move like that. Takes out the 1. And then do this and it'll... Okay. That turn looked like it was going to go bad, but it didn't. Deal 3 damage to enemy targets. Protect self. Talk to champions if you kill an Astral. Ooh, that might be the choice. 3 damage is pretty decent. You severely hurt one, then do that. Give protected. No, they're fine. It's not gonna jinx me. Or I can give it to them. They have the better movement. So I'm gonna give it to them. Okay. It really is. Ooh. Okay, rough start. Oh, okay. Well, we're not gonna kill an Astral. We are gonna kill a minion. Yeah, move like that. Do that, kill a minion and an Astral. No, I should have left that Astral alive so I could have used the ability to get Protect. Okay. If I move like this, take out 2 minions, and considering how much I don't like the boosts they're getting from minions at the moment. Is there a way to get... I mean, I can just change who's getting hit, so that's fine. Three wouldn't be a kill. Deal 3 damage to every enemy. Oh, dang it. One, not gonna... I think this is the best play just because I can take out multiple minions, though. Even though we don't get the Protect bonus. Okay, we go like this, kill the 1 minion that's giving that bonus to health. We can do this, and it will kill all the minions and one of the Astrals. Which then means the Knight can... There we go. Perfect. Okay, these next 2 battles I have a feeling are going to be really hard. Part of me wonders if the scaling of difficulty might be a little steep, but I don't think so. I didn't really think it was steep until I kinda thought about it now. Yeah, that's the best play, because it takes out 2 minions, gets rid of a Protect. This would be better focus firing as much onto 1 as possible, I think. 3. Can I can't make it make 4. I'd rather take advantage of killing minions then. Because less damage. Oh god, that is a lot of minions. Oh god, kills a minion, gets rid of protect. 6, 5, 6. There is a way I can focus fire to kill the 1, which helps drastically. Plus 2 damage to Astrals for each minion the champion targeted. So I could get it up to 3. Or get it up to 5, actually, and take out the 1. Then... Oh, I didn't realize. Okay, we're fine. It's okay that we didn't use the spell. Oh, God. Yeah, do that, because it'll take out multiple units. Use the heal, because I don't want them to get fatigued. Go here. No, if I'm only going to hit 1, let's get rid of Protect on you. Wait. Okay. So take out a minion, severely damage you. I should have used that spell that did 2 damage to all enemies. I think that would have actually been the better play there. Break their shield, move like this, kill them. Okay, I'll take another heal spell. Okay, let's see. That's a lot of minions. Well, I can take out 2. You know what? Actually, I think that's the good idea because there's just so many minions. Then use a heal of 2 champions, or of a random champion. Dang it, I was hoping for that. Okay, well, they can kill this one, so 1 less Astral already. Because then we're only going to take 2 total damage to this. Okay. Oh boy. This just does 2 damage, and it does more for more enemies. So if I position like this, I get a heal 4 and take out 2 minions. Which most definitely helps. Then, if I go like this, I bring the 1 down to 1 HP. I can go here, take out a minion, take it out. There's only 3 damage coming our way. 2 damage, so we only go down 1 unit. And we can, because of their placement... No, don't do it like that. Do it like... No, if I do this right, they take 6 and die immediately. Okay. Deal 2 damage, 4 to the final target. Deal 8 damage each target after the first halves this damage. Deal 6 damage to non-minion target. Let's do that. No, let's give it to you, because I think that one's pretty good. And this is the final fight. Okay, starting off taking some damage. Not the best, not the worst. Taking a lot of damage, actually. That's a little rough. The war is not over, but you've reached the end of the playtest. To victory! Okay, so that was the end of the playtest. Figured it out. Okay, but we've kind of seen what the final bit is going to be. As expected, playtests are relatively short because they aren't even full demo size usually. Let's talk over the things that we really liked and things that we thought needed some work and the like. Because we've kind of already been talking about it, and we've had one of the team in the chat. But, we should use a different screen, actually, because I've realized the chat doesn't really show up when we have this screen open. So we have the game music in the background. So let's real quick just hide my OC Remix browser source so that we don't have music going. So, things I really like about the game. I really like the art. In particular, I'm a hobbyist in art. I really like art. As I've mentioned over the course of this playtest stream that we've been doing, I also really like... I do like the music. The music is that right level of not annoying, because some video game soundtracks get stuck in your head in a bad way. And I think I would prefer a game soundtrack not get stuck in my head, because it's very hard to do the soundtrack that gets stuck in your head in a good way. So a soundtrack that's just the right level of interest to keep you engaged without getting stuck in your head is a really nice thing to do, especially considering it's really hard to do the feat of making a song that gets stuck in your head in a good way. And that I can think of one song by a band that's done that, and that was I forgot the name of the song because it isn't the chorus of the song. But it's the Killers song where the chorus is, I'm not a soldier, but I've got soul, but I'm not a soldier. I forget the lyrics because it's been a while since I've listened to it. I can see the album cover too, is the thing. Like, I know what album it's on. So, like, that's a thing to kind of keep in mind. There's definitely the color scheme that we've already been told is probably going to change a bit, because there used to be factions for all of the heroes, champions. I like how it's very much movement based, and once you kind of get in the flow state of it, it's really fun to see position enemies so you can set up moves from all of your other champions in a turn and set up your following turns. I am a big fan of that. I do constantly forget Astrals is a term in the game. That's just a me thing. I don't know really what kind of feedback that is, but it's something that my brain is realizing. But I do like how you have minions versus the Astrals, which are the two enemy types, and minions don't hurt you, they buff the enemy, so it makes it so that you're juggling damaging to the boss characters, the Astrals, versus defeating the enemy, the minions that are making them stronger. Skin rewards would be nice, but we're not going to talk about things we want to see in a 1.0. We're talking about the game itself on how to get it polished up to be really good for a demo. Because those are like 1.0 thoughts. Those are thoughts that we would be having a discussion about during a demo versus a playtest. Like, the important thing to understand when we're talking playtest versus demo, a playtest, we are just going to talk about what there is there and how it could be polished up for a demo. I mean, a demo, something that you would probably want from the playtest of the demo is some more regions, but we already saw the outline of the regions you'll be able to visit, so that's fine. We've already talked about how we kind of wish there were some tutorial moments throughout the game, which we have been told are currently also being worked on. I like a lot of the sound effects in the game. They have a really nice bassy sound to it, which is a lot of fun. A fun thing that could maybe be added in is a once per area, not once per battle, just reset turn option. In case you really fuck up a play and you're like, oh no, I can do this better, but make it once per region, not once per battle, because there's 3 battles per area. That could be interesting, but also I think it might break the flow of the game also. So I don't think that's actually a good idea. That's like one of those ideas I'm like, I wouldn't be mad if it was there, but I also wouldn't be mad if it weren't. Is there anything else major I want to add? I mean, I'm kind of curious what story and lore is going on in the game, but again, that's probably demo / 1.0 release stuff. There's weird stuff that happens when you change the full screen option in the options, where if you're a 2-monitor setup like mine, for some reason it switched over to the other monitor when I did that. I don't know why. So, you know, that's a thing. I mean, they'll, at some point, achievements would be fun. Custom squads we've talked about being fun. Okay, there we go. Like, as we have kind of learned since we have one of the team in the chat, is that a lot of these things that we're like, I kind of wish this thing would happen, they're working on already. And, like, yeah, I don't have anything negative to say, really, because most of it is like, oh, here's a nitpick, and most of them we've mentioned the nitpick in, they've been like, yeah, we're gonna work on that, yeah, we're kind of working into this one. That would make sense because my second monitor is my gaming monitor. My first monitor is just on my left because when I stream, I have my overlay. So the way it works on my stream is in the 2/3 on the left shows me a preview of what I'm seeing on screen, which is my VTuber model here. And then in the last third is the activity feed for my Twitch and the chat itself. Yes, that is another good thing. I'm glad that most of the feedback seems to be the same thing and not weird little things, which is very useful. In regards to the blanket time question, Jazz, I can't figure out how to fix that toggle. I have spent hours trying to fix that toggle, and I can't figure it out, so the blanket's kind of gone for now. I'm hoping when the thing that is happening for March, probably, I think it's supposed to be in like 20 days, where it's supposed to be finished, I can hopefully get it fixed. I mean, it does help that I saw the message I got in Blue Sky like 10 minutes before stream, and I already was like, I don't know what I want to do, because I kind of want to talk about things, but I don't usually have the ability to do just chatting for a full 4 hours, or even 3 hours, because today's probably going to be a 3-hour stream, because I have work to do for the podcast, and yeah, the podcast really needs some work, and basically all of it is not going to see the light of day until it's ready. And I would like to get all of the editing for episode 0 done. Jazz, I do not. You need to understand, those kinds of things added to the model are a ways down. But we kind of will be doing just chatting after this. Because again, I do want to talk about my Resident Evil versus Silent Hill discussion things. Because I really like Resident Evil. And I find Silent Hill fascinating. No? I don't have any more feedback for the game. So I'm going to actually close out of it so that we can switch over to do this. So we have music playing. Do this so people can see what is playing, because we like to give credit to any music we are using. And considering we're using a radio station of the like. Here, I think I should invite and I have a feeling, I think I know for a fact this is like Serial and Saves shit. So I'm gonna invite Serial Designation O, Save State VT, and I'll send it to Calf. I don't know if Calf's into these types of games, but I think she'll find it interesting, so. That's true. I don't plan on talking about Resi 9 spoilers, but I am going to talk about like the games as a whole, so I might end up knocking those, so it might be a good idea. No problem. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your time, and with that... Oh, my Discord's going off. Let me check that real quick. It's because it's Super Mario... It's the Yoshi game where you have the babies. Bum 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 bum. So, what was I pulling open? Oh, there was an update to Resident Evil 9 also. Cool. Maybe that'll fix the performance issues I've been having with the game, when I literally have one major run left. Huh. Considering it was a full gig demo or update, also it's probably going to do a lot. But you're right. Let's check the media. Let's open up the... Okay, go. I have to do it through the store page. Or the community workshop. Search. Bracket, WOTC. Bracket. That's not the right bracket. Oh, God. Bracket. Twitch. Integration. Search. That didn't work like I wanted. Fair enough. Uh, through the magic of rigging, done by the wonderful Illustration. Let's see. Where is my XCOM 2 stuff? Oh, it's probably not installed at the moment. Okay, let's install XCOM 2 because we are coming up on actually going to be doing that playthrough anyway. So we have it. Workshop. Search. Twitch integration. Search. Let's take a look at it. Installing the mod alone is not enough to run. Check the setup instructions here. Integrate the game with Twitch for viewer chat commands, polls, and more. Integrates the game with Twitch for viewer chat commands, polls, and more. Let your viewers become part of the game without bogging you down. Automatically raffle your viewers as enemies and civilians. Manually assign viewers as soldiers. Enjoy a custom UI to track who's who on the battlefield and in the Avenger. Let viewers use chat commands to speak in-game, use emotes to show their mood, and more. Run polls to let everyone watching influence what's going on during missions. Set up channel point rewards so viewers can turn in their channel points for in-game effects. Okay. I'm not installing the Fortnite dance into XCOM 2. We're boycotting Fortnite because they fucking let J.K. Rowling, transphobic piece of shit, get money by including Harry Potter skins. The in-game mod options give you plenty of control, but you can do more. If you want to truly customize things for your stream, then dig into the ini files to set up custom chat commands, channel point rewards, polls, blah blah blah. Symbol XA command, show messages and comm links. So make a message appear in game as though it came from a viewer's unit. Tactical layer only makes the given emote appear next to the viewer's unit. Roll the dice. Tactical layer only and disabled by default in the mod options. Spins a big wheel that has a variety of good and bad effects. One is randomly selected to happen to the viewer's unit. Maybe. I'll subscribe to it so I can just find it later and decide if I'm gonna do it. You know what? We're gonna take a bathroom break, actually, before we talk about the Resi game versus Silent Hill game. So I'm gonna real quick come over here. Hope I didn't do a certain thing. Now I've done that thing. Go into here. Go into here. God damn it, my roommate just went into the bathroom. Okay, well, it's going to be a little bit until we actually take the break, because, you know, can't use the bathroom yet. But I don't know why the ad manager widget never works in my stream over my OBS anymore. Yeah. Okay, now we can run the ads. We'll be right back. Oh. Hi, everyone. The ads are almost over. I'm gonna just take a drink. All right. So, let's talk about the difference in storytelling between a Resident Evil game and a Silent Hill game. Because I have opinions on this, and it comes from a very simple thing. I have recently played through Resident Evil Requiem. It's a great game. I am about 32 hours in, and I am almost 100% of the game. Just so people are aware where I'm coming from on my Resident Evil takes. In Silent Hill, I have played a bit of Silent Hill 2 before I got overwhelmed and didn't want to play it. That was 2.5 hours about. So there's my biases out right there now. I'm going to be fair in my discussion because honestly, I think Silent Hill is more fascinating to discuss than Resident Evil. And this comes down to a very simple concept. Theme versus lore. The Silent Hill franchise has lore, but it matters not nearly as much as Resident Evil lore matters. Because Resident Evil has recurring characters. You have Leon, you have Chris, you have Jill, you have Ethan, you have Mia, you have Claire, you have so many characters. And you also have like Barry, and like Barry's kids show up as playable characters in a few games. And by that I mean I think one. Oh, excuse me, that was a bad time to have to burp. And as such, it's more interested in building up a lived-in world with like history to it. You have the T virus, and that eventually mutates into a different thing. You have Las Plagas, which is what gives us Resident Evil 4, which is then taken by I think Umbrella, or I think Umbrella was disbanded at that point. It's hard to remember the specifics. But you have like Albert Wesker, and they like take Las Plagas and experiment on it to make it Ouroboros, which is admittedly not that great of a game because Resident Evil 5 is unintentionally very racist at times. Because it's very insensitive. Then you have in 7 they introduced the moss. The molded. That's what it's called. The molded. And then in 8 you learn that it's from the metamycetial. And like, you know, it has like this whole lore, and you have characters with their own story arcs. Like Leon goes from rookie police detective or police officer to badass FBI agent or Secret Service agent to DSO agent, where they are in Requiem. And then you have characters like you have Chris, who starts off as part of Bravo team, I think. I can't remember if he's Alpha or Bravo team. On the Stars police, on the Raccoon Police Department's team with Stars. And then in his next mainline game is, I believe, 5, where he punches a boulder into a volcano and kills Wesker. And then in 7, he shows up at the very end to help to save Ethan and also hunt down and kill Lucas. And then in Village, he's got the Wolf Pack, which is a fractured off unit from the BSAA, who are an anti-bioweapon task force, essentially. You have Jill, who goes from the same start as Chris, ending up having to escape Raccoon City as they are hunted down by Nemesis, leading to them being brainwashed by Albert Wesker and turned blonde for some reason. And we haven't seen her in a mainline game since then. I say mainline game because there are spin-off games. But she is a playable character in Resident Evil Revelations, which is fine. It is a fine game. It feels too anime-like, though. You have Claire, who shows up in 2, and then only in the spin-off games after that. We haven't seen Claire in a mainline Resident Evil game since 2. Oh, excuse me. But, like, this is kind of to make my point that Resident Evil is a lore-heavy survival horror game. But then we move over to Silent Hill. And Silent Hill is not your standard lore-heavy game. Like, there's kind of lore with the cult in Resident Evil, or Silent Hill 1, affecting Silent Hill 3, and Heather having to deal with them. There's kind of that. And there's, you know, there's some history, but Silent Hill 2, which the creators really wanted to focus in that style of Silent Hill when they were doing it, but the vocal minority of the fan base wanted more of Silent Hill 1. So they kind of had to combine Silent Hill 1 with 2 for 3. But Silent Hill 2 is kind of where the franchise, I think, is at its strongest. And with what little of F I've seen, don't worry, we'll play Silent Hill F. That is a game I actually really want to stream. Because I don't have the issue I was having with Silent Hill 2, where I already know a lot of what happens in it, and have heard the themes talked about extensively. So it's not nearly as fun to kind of play through it, because it's like, well, I kind of already know what's going on. And I don't have the nostalgia for this. But we will eventually play through Silent Hill F. It's just a matter of when I can buy it. Which, as people know, I am kind of a broke bitch sometimes. A lot of the time, if we're being honest. That's just a true statement, I'm realizing. Anyway. But there's some interesting themes where you have to look into, like, you're playing a character who is female during an era in Japan where it was exceptionally not fun to be a female. And there's, like, some interesting themes going on there, to the point where I was theorizing stuff in the few hours I could play before I realized my computer could not run the game, and then refunded it because, you know, it was a full price game, and sometimes you need the money. And if I'm not going to be able to play for who knows how long, then that's why I refunded it. But the whole point with Silent Hill games is, the more interesting thing is to talk about the themes rather than the lore. Like, why do we think Pyramid Head is so popular and so well known? Because people like to talk about them. It is a striking design, admittedly. But people are more likely to talk about Pyramid Head than the Nemesis, or the Tyrant, the Molded, the... What else is there in Resident Evil that I'm forgetting? The Lickers. Like, you're more likely to talk about an enemy in Silent Hill because each of the enemies is built around, at least in 2, is built around the fact that the main... Spoilers for Silent Hill 2. Spoilers for Silent Hill 2, so I can talk about this. And probably some spoilers for Silent Hill 3. I'm not sure about that one yet. But it might happen. But Silent Hill 2. You have the nurses, where they all connect into James, the main character. And there is, like, constant discussions about how Silent Hill looks different for each person who is there. Like, different perceptions on what's going on. So, James's whole tragic backstory that you eventually uncover by the end of the games is that he spent a lot of time in a hospital with his dying wife. And you find out at the very end, he also killed his dying wife by suffocating her with a pillow. Like I said, spoilers for Silent Hill 2. But if we continue on, we can now start discussing about how all of the enemies are based on James's trauma in like all of like how they thematically tie into the game. You have that enemy that is essentially a full-on, it's got legs and then it's just a mass of flesh wrapped up in something. James felt trapped by his wife who was dying in the hospital. And then you have the sexy nurses. He was having lustful thoughts about the nurses because he couldn't really do anything with his wife. James is not a good person. Anybody who tries to say he's a good person, fuck you. Actually, no, that's actually a fun conversation to really have because you can have arguments about it and bring in evidence from both sides. Because just having, for example, you could argue, well, just because you have urges doesn't mean you're bad because it's acting on them that's the issue. And then back to Pyramid Head, the most iconic enemy in all of Silent Hill. Like, they got put into Dead by Daylight for a reason. They showed up in a movie where James was not the main protagonist because they are so iconic. Ugh. And then, so to Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head is, at their core, James's own self-loathing and belief that he needed to be punished for everything he's done. And when you play through the game, at least in the OG, which I've seen more of, the first time you see Pyramid Head, I don't care. I don't have an opinion on Pyramid Head in the Smash or Pass regard. It's the ultimate, I know people who really, really like him and would, but not me. I don't care. But you first see him just in the background behind a cage, bar, whatever you want to call it. So you can't really do anything, but you see them. But the first time you come close to interacting with them, there are these puppet enemies that you will come across. I don't know really what their theme is and how they tie into it, because I don't have like the deep understanding of Silent Hill like I do Resident Evil. And even then, I don't have like the deepest Resident Evil knowledge. But Pyramid Head, the first scene that happens is essentially Pyramid Head thrusting into the spasming puppet enemy in a way that you can very quickly tell is like, this is supposed to imply rape or sexual assault. Well, rape is sexual assault, but not all sexual assault is rape, because sexual assault is a broader category than rape. But that right there shows you that it's also like a manifestation of all of James's darkest impulses that he may or may not have acted on. We don't know if he acted on them also. It's left up to interpretation. I think, again, I have not played through all of the games. I have not dived into them nearly as much. Because the thing is, people have more fun making video essays and podcast conversations about the Silent Hill franchise compared to Resident Evil. Because Resident Evil, you're just like, oh, this thing was cool, right? Yeah, that thing was awesome. Let's go. Like, that's what Resident Evil does for people. Silent Hill, you go, I want to talk about this. I want to dive into and have a discussion about James as a character because we don't know a whole lot about him because it's left purposely vague. But we know all of these themes that are going on. We know all of these enemies are based around them, and how do they imply? And we have endings that hint at just enough where we can start making connections. Because you can really dive into it. And then you also have the other characters in Silent Hill 2 alone that people can talk about, because you learn just enough about all of them to kind of understand what their Silent Hill might look like. Like, there's one character, I cannot remember her names off the top of my head. She's the one in the remake that people threw a fit about because she had fat. Like, she wasn't a skinny, hot girl. Which, I stand by, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up on that regard. That's so stupid. Shut the fuck up. That is not something you should care about. It's part of the reason. The main game I kind of want to make, the two playable characters, which is like, it's just like, are you playing a male or a female presenting character? Are both going to be slightly chubby. Or even more chubby than that. Because I'm like, no. Fuck you. They're humans. They should be allowed to look more than just beautiful. And you should still like them as characters. Their looks should not determine how you feel about the character. But it's a simple thing. And like, but anyway, back to the character whose again name I unfortunately cannot remember. But you end up fighting a boss that's actually from her version of Silent Hill. And I'm not going to show them, even if I make this into a video, but I will name them. And if you so desire, you can look them up. Abstract Daddy. Now I'm going to give chat a few moments to look it up if they want to. Again, the name of the boss is called Abstract Daddy. Or it might be Abstract Father, but I think it's Abstract Daddy. It's, yes, Jazz, it is the bed flesh mound thing. So, that comes from her world, and it talks about how her past, her trauma, and why she's in Silent Hill is related to she was sexually assaulted by her father. Which, if you look into like the Silent Hill 2 specific, like OG version of the design, the fleshy bits that looks like a mound of like flesh on top of the bed, it kind of looks like a penis. It very much looks like a penis, in fact. which means it is a game that is following in the footsteps of many, many, many horror movies and such when it comes down to academic discussion where everything's a penis. The knife in Halloween, it's a penis. The machete in Friday the 13th, it's a penis. Legitimately, the amount of, genuinely, the amount of academic papers that go, oh, this thing, especially in horror, it's supposed to represent a penis. The fact that Michael Myers is stabbing teenage girls with a knife is a metaphor for a penis. So a metaphor for rape. Which there is value in these kinds of arguments and discussion. Because you can have a movie that outwardly appears to be one thing, but the themes mean another thing. And that's just a thing that I just want people to know. People in academia are so much hornier than you think, and so much... you would think highbrow, but a lot of the time they're not. They just have this air about them. And to think that could have been me. One of the, 3 things I was considering going into when I was going to college before I dropped out was English. Which means I would have ended up in academia like that, because that's what English primarily is. Academia. Which is part of the reason why I definitely should have, a teacher look for a toggle at some point. Well, it depends on the context of the story, Jazz. It's not everything is a penis, but a lot of things can be penises. Especially in a slasher movie, with a lot of the weapons used as murder implements being really good examples of a penis. The knife in Halloween is probably the most well-known and easy to be like, yeah, that makes sense. Now, I would say if you really want to go into all of these things are a metaphor for certain things going on, you should watch the original version, not the remakes, of Black Christmas. Is it Black Christmas, or am I thinking of a different? I don't think it's Black Christmas, actually. One second, let me pull open the movie. Let me just make sure it is Black Christmas. Yes, Black Christmas. Also, if you haven't seen Black Christmas, you should just watch Black Christmas. It's a really good movie. The 1974 horror mystery Black Christmas, which came out before Halloween by John Carpenter, and is actually something he has talked about being an influence on Halloween. I highly recommend this movie. It's really good. But in it, the main characters are kind of harassed by somebody over the phone. That's right, it predates Scream on harassing the protagonist on a phone. I don't know. In fact, hey, if you want to watch Black Christmas, you can watch it for free on Tubi. I am seeing that right here in my Google search. You can watch it for free on Tubi. Which means you will have ads, but that's about it. I stand by. Hey, check it out. It's really good. It's a really good movie. But in it, the main characters are harassed over the phone. Specifically for one of the main characters. It's not a parody movie. It's an actually scary horror movie. But one of the characters had an abortion. And now the person over the phone is kind of rubbing it in and harassing the character in various ways, which I don't want to spoil this movie because it is really good and it needs more people to watch it. But there are some kills with certain items that you can very easily go, that's supposed to mean a penis. Yes, people do protest outside of abortion clinics, especially in the United States, because fuck us, I guess. There's nothing wrong with an abortion. The people who say abortions are evil are just fucking morons. People who are like, I'm pro-life, aren't actually pro-life. Because if they were pro-life, yes, also the men wanting control over women's bodies, which again, big theme related to Black Christmas. Highly recommend this movie. It's really smart. But yeah, people will protest outside of abortion clinics and send in bomb threats or actual bombs. You know, because we're pro-life. What says life like blowing up a clinic where people could be and die? No, not Americans. Don't lump all Americans into being fucking evil idiots. Republicans are fucking evil idiots. Centrists are fucking evil idiots. I can't legally say yes to that, Jazz. Take that answer as you will. I feel like the problem with hillbillies is that's too broad of a statement, and it is unfortunately specifically tied to a specific offshoot stereotypically. So I don't think we can really say that for hillbillies as a thing. The best way to say it is some people aren't actually as evil as they seem. They just have been gaslit into thinking this is the way it has to be. Like, there's a bunch of people who are like, oh, well, my parents were Republicans, so I have to be a Republican. First of all, you don't. I am proof of that. To be fair, I was also raised in a cult, so I'm a little... there's a bit more to me there. Which I think is why I really enjoy horror movies that let me think and have, like, these discussions about theme. Like, something that I'm really happy about as a trans woman taking HRT is the odds of me not losing the ability to have babies because I am sterile, or most likely sterile. There is a chance that I'm still sterile, but it's very unlikely that that happens once you start HRT, which is why if you plan on having kids and you want them to be biologically yours, if you're MTF, you should get your sperm frozen. But I don't want kids, so I didn't give a shit about doing that. Yeah. We have officially gone off topic, but there's not much more I can say about my concept or thought. It just makes... Chaz, that statement just makes me think of the, like, oh, I'm so glad that I'm a guy and I can't get pregnant. Looming in the background, the boy impregnator. That's what your comment gives. The The statement I always love is like having the one guy in like it's happened in a lot of fanfics I've read, kind of going up to like the essentially submissive and breedable one who's still male and being like, let's have babies. It's like, I can't have babies. Oh, well, then we're just not trying hard enough. And then it leads to one of the most intense scenes ever. Yeah. Let's go. But it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun to kind of be had in general with life. It is rare that I do a just chatting stream. I will say that. I do greatly enjoy it, but the problem is sometimes my brain does this where it just suddenly goes full on tangent. Which is why, oh, I haven't shared that link. Oh shit, I should share that link again. We have, specifically, let me get the responder link. Shorter we have a trope class discussion. Or a thing that we want to do at some point. And by that I mean after a certain thing happens later this month. But if you want to have me talk about a specific trope in regards to how it's used in storytelling, go ahead and go to this form. You can enter it as many times as you would like and add some topics that we can discuss about. They can be small topics, they can be huge topics. Currently we have 10 responses, but that's a lot of stuff actually when you consider how deep we can go into topics. I would like more, genuinely, because I would like to make it like a full-size stream instead of a partial, smaller stream. On account of, that just makes it more fun. And another stream I want to do at some point, we'll just link that as well today, is Truth or Drink. So here's the link for that one. Now we are at 42 responses. I am not going to do the stream until... I was going to wait till 100. I think my new rule is I'm going to wait until 50. Because we can kind of do it as a double feature with the trope class now. Where we do the trope class first, and then move on to the Truth or Drink. So we just need 8 more questions that are... where it's like, I want you to answer this question, and they're kind of hard to answer, and if I don't want to answer it for whatever reason, that said, excluding any that are obvious traps like, where do you live? What's your real name? Those ones are ignored, for obvious reasons. Those ones don't get the Truth or Drink option, they just get yeeted from the list in general. But what will happen is, once I have that, once we have the 50 responses, Caffeinette, friend of the channel, streamer as well, has agreed to go through the list and kind of get them all set up so that I can do them blindly on stream. Well, don't ask like open-ended questions that are like too general. Because the goal of any question is to get me to drink. Because if it's like, oh, what's your favorite biscuit? It's like, I don't fucking have an opinion. I'm just like, whatever biscuit is nearby and fresh. It's very simple for me. Very, very simple. But, yeah. So that's kind of what we're going to do with that one. Is there anything else that people kind of want to talk about right now? Well, we've already talked about how I'm a cat person, though I also wouldn't be opposed to having rabbits. I really like rabbits. I think they're very cute and fluffy. I literally follow a page on Blue Sky that is daily bunnies. Because I like seeing bunnies. When it comes down to cats that I've had, which is like cats that I have been like not owned, but like have essentially been like close enough that I could be like, I kind of owned that cat. I would say a Maine Coon was my favorite. I like how they're big and floofy. They're also very chill cats. Probably the best cat to cuddle. Because they're just like a fucking warm-ass cat. Fun thing about those cats, the reason they're called a Maine Coon is they originate from Maine, and people thought they were a cat-raccoon hybrid. They're not. They're just cats. But because of the way they look and how big they are, people thought that cats were fucking raccoons. Yeah, that's more of the question you would ask for the Truth or Drink stuff. Like, I want the questions to have, like, meat on the bone so we can, like, talk about them. If they're not going to be deep ones. Like, if they're not going to be ones meant to make me drink, I want them to be meaty so we can discuss them. So we can have, like, full-on conversations. Because that's kind of the whole point of those kinds of streams, is you want to be able to have a conversation. You want something to keep a conversation going. And the other thing, this one is going to be like friends are allowed to join kind of thing, because I have that Discord channel dedicated for like collabing with friends. I mean, again, the questions either need to be something that can lead to a fun conversation, or are ones that are definitely going to be like, I don't think you'll answer this. Take a drink, bitch. Like those kinds of things. Again, I will have Caffeinet moderating all of these questions, so I go in blind. So, if something, like, one of the rules I'll be like, hey, if something seems like it might be too invasive, don't include it, kind of thing. But anyway, back to my thought is, essentially, during that part of the stream, I would be like, hey everyone, this is when we're doing this. Jazz, that's not really a conversation starter, though. That's just like, oh, I like this one, and then move on. The point is, whatever question gets asked leads to... Yes. And also, all of the responses are anonymous. There's also the thing, though, where they might be able to be like, this person constantly posts and asks the questions in a very specific way. It's probably the same question asker. That is a thing that happens. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like the amount of people who can tell when I'm typing something because I always use... or I usually use very proper grammar in my sentences when I message people. And not many people do that, so it's a pretty good tell. But yeah, during the stream, essentially, like, I'll give a heads up, hey, this time... on this day, we will be doing this stream. You are welcome to join. We'll start at this time. It should take maybe this long to complete. And I will be drinking whatever I'll be drinking. I'll probably break out the whiskey, because if it's just like a wine or something, that's like something I drink for fun or when I want to relax. Whereas like whiskey is something I don't really drink. I just happen to have whiskey. for occasions. 'Cause sometimes you just want a quick and I'm drunk moment. And if you just shoot straight whiskey, like 2 to 3 fingers, that shit fucks you up. But essentially what it would be is I would essentially drink a finger of whiskey for every question I don't answer. Unless I hit a point where I'm very drunk. In which case it's like, hey everyone, we're taking a break from drinking because I don't want to die. Kind of thing. Because, you know, there's always the, we'll stop if it's too much. I don't fuck with vodka anymore because of the moose statue incident, as I call it now. Which I have talked about multiple times on stream now. So, if you want to know what the fuck that's about, add it to the form. Because that's the only way I'm going to talk about it again, is if it is asked to me in that form. Because I'm tired of telling that story. But yes, there is the moose incident. The moose statue incident. Hell no. I don't drink vodka for a very specific reason. And I'm standing by that. Yeah. Also, I didn't stream yesterday because I was recording for a podcast. And we ended up talking a lot longer than I anticipated. So, unfortunate there. But, you know what? I'm going to actually just go ahead and say this is going to be a really short stream and we're going to raid out. Because I need food. I'm hungry. I didn't eat before stream because I woke up so close to stream start. So we will, of course, raid into the wonderful Lillystration, who is a Fox VTuber who created this model you see here on the screen, moving and dancing and being all super kawaii. Ugh. I cringed at that one. I audibly cringed saying that one. But yeah. And of course, hey, check out Attack of the Astrals playtest, see if you can get into it. Because it was a fun game, and I look forward to seeing what it hits when it has a demo. I'm also looking forward to seeing how the conversations go when it comes down to improvements of the games based on feedback. It's definitely one I'm going to be following. In part because it was the first time I've been reached out by a dev to try something. Which was really fun. First time I was reached out to somebody who wasn't clearly a scam artist. Let me put it that way, actually. Because that has happened as well. But that happens to anybody, because they want to scam. But the raid's going. Goodbye!